Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. And today I'm celebrating 2 weeks of No Buy Book Challenge. Cheers. Here's how it's going. I have discovered that there are a couple of things that are making this a success for me so far. Ironically, one of those things is not watching YouTube, BookTube. I still am watching like crazy, and I find that to be just fine. I see you talking about books. I see the books on your list, and I am aware that I can get those at my library or I can wait for them. So everything is fine. The same is true with my anticipated reads for June so far. Now, there are a lot of those that really spoke to me and made me a little sad that I had started this no buy challenge when I did. But again, I am pretty certain I can get those books from one of my many libraries and everything will be fine. What I am not doing is I am not opening emails from Book Outlet, thrift books, from the Kindle books that are on sale for the week through Amazon. What else? Any other bookseller that is sending me a newsletter that is enticing me to buy a book, I am just deleting it and not even opening it. Now, I could open it and look at what's available and see if that's something that I want to borrow. But at the moment, I have such a great list of books to read between my big books, readathon books, and my summer reading pile of possibilities, TBR. I really don't need any help in that regard. So I am not worrying about it at all. And I have not gone into a physical bookstore. Will I go into a physical bookstore? I might. There's one in particular that I could go into and have a cup of coffee with a friend or do some remote work or just enjoy getting out of my house. That one I could probably find time to go there and to support him by buying a cup of coffee and maybe a snack or a cup of tea. He has the best tea. Oh, they just have a great little shop. And they don't have a huge selection of books, but I could probably even browse those shelves and then see if there was something that I wanted to borrow from my library. This is their sort of satellite store, if you will. So the other one has more. It's a little bit farther away, but I have thought about and do plan to go into my libraries physically, not just the one that's right by my house, which I am going to visit, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. I'm probably going to visit them today, but just because it is just nice to browse the stacks, right? And that might bring forward some other books that I might want to read, or some movies or audiobooks, or who knows. They still actually have physical copies of some audiobooks in some of my libraries. And so I don't know if I would do that though. Now that I tell you that, I wouldn't be able to pop them in my laptop anymore because this laptop does not have the same USB port that the other ones had. So yeah, I might not. No, I don't think I could listen to an audiobook. I have a USB audio thing that I can put a CD or a DVD in from my old computer, but yeah, I don't know how that would work. Anyway, that's a run-on aside. Nevertheless, I have not gone into Barnes and Noble at all, and I mean, I could meet a friend there for coffee or tea as well. We got our granddaughter a Barnes and Noble gift card for her birthday. We could offer to take her there to spend her gift card. I don't think that I would be harmed or tempted by going into the bookstore because so far I'm really feeling very confident about this challenge. Really. I'm kind of surprised by that because I really thought it would be harder than it is. So this is a good awareness, at least so far. August is a ways away, I know, but we'll see. So what am I currently reading this week? You might have asked, or you might not have. I'm currently reading Delilah Green Doesn't Care. So this is by Ashley Herring Blake. And this is for a Patreon book club with Becca at Books and Bujo, which I think I talked about the other day when I was listing my summer reads. I did have to start this early because the book club meets next Wednesday, maybe soon. So I didn't want to get behind on that. So I have already started that. Summer officially starts on Memorial Day anyway for a lot of people. So that was true for me. I'm liking it. I'm curious about how the book club folks will like it. It's a queer romance and it's pretty steamy. And while that's fine for me, I'm not sure how other people are going to react to that. So we'll see. That could be a very interesting book club discussion for sure. But it's nothing like earth-shattering, you know, in that way. It's just it's a romance. It's a steamy romance. So you know, it is what it is, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. I have also from my library gotten The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. Library books are always so shiny, but I do love this cover. How the great rewiring of childhood is causing an epidemic of mental illness. You might wonder, why did you pick this up, Lori? I will tell you. In The Anxious Generation, social psychologist Jonathan Haidt lays out the facts about the epidemic of teen mental illness that has hit many countries at the same time, then investigates the nature of childhood, including why children need play and independent exploration to mature into competent, thriving adults. So he looks at play-based childhood in the 1980s beginning to decline, and then how it was wiped out by the arrival of the phone-based childhood in the early 2010s. And I think in particular, he talks about the impact of children who were born in 2016 and beyond, which is my sweet Adeline. So I really want to take a look at this. There's a lot of research here. There's a lot of information about how this impacts girls versus boys, what time is spent parenting by moms. It just sounds fascinating to me. And a friend of mine said, hey, this is something I thought you might be interested in. And she was right. And I was thrilled that my library had it. So this is that. I also have put on hold 2 books at my library. Let me tell you about those. One of them is called The Pot Liquor Papers, which my librarian recommended to me when I returned. What did I return? A book about food by Michael Pollan, and I didn't get to it. The Omnivore's Dilemma. I didn't get to it, and I knew I wasn't going to get to it, and so I returned it. And he said this was really, really good. So this is about a history of Southern food that reveals how the region came to be at the forefront of American culinary culture and how issues of race have shaped Southern cuisine over the last 6 decades. It tells the story of food and politics in the South, beginning with the pivotal role of cooks in the civil rights movement. John T. Edge narrates the South's journey from racist backwater to American immigration, traces how the food of the poorest Southerners has become the signature trend of modern America, haute cuisine. So Richard knows me pretty well, and he knows my taste in books, and he knows that I love to read books about how things developed. And I had actually returned The Reformatory when he was talking about this book. So he must have thought, since I liked The Reformatory, that I might like this, because I also had the Michael Pollan book. So you can see how your librarians make great recommendations to you just based on a couple of minutes of conversation and being aware of what it is that you like. And I think that's fantastic. And then I've also put on hold Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which I have already read. However, you may know that Dark Matter has been adapted into a series, and I wanted to reread the book before I watched the series, which my children said was unnecessary because they have started it without me, which is fine. but I still just really feel like I want to. And I remember running through that book like in a day or two at the most. I just remember consuming it with every inch of my being, as I have with a number of Blake Crouch's books. So that one is not quite in yet, but the Pot Liquor Papers is in. So once they both arrive, which might be today, I will run up there and get it. My library, luckily, is not far from me, so that makes that a nice thing. And then just a very different take is The End of Her by Sherry LaPina. This is one of the only Sherry LaPinas that I haven't read. I have not started it, just I have put a bookmark in it, but she is a favorite of mine, and she also has another one coming out soon, which I'll be talking about in the next few months. And so I thought I would pick this one up. Stephanie and Patrick are adjusting to life with twins, and they are living in this, I think, subdivision or a nice house anyway. They're very happy where they are. Everything is pretty wonderful except for some sleep deprivation. And Erica from Patrick's past appears and makes a disturbing accusation. Patrick had always said that his first wife's death was an accident, but Erica claims it was murder. I love this cover. Look, it kind of matches my manicure. Look at that. And so, yeah, this one has one of those unremovable stickers. You know how much I love those. Fiona Barton says, all hail the mistress of the page turner. I would agree that's true too. So I wanted something I could really get lost in and finish quickly. And then the other book that I'm listening to is also for a book club. That is The Last House on the Street by Diane Chamberlain. I actually just started to listen to that this morning, and I haven't gotten very far, but so far it starts out with a pretty fast bang. And this one is for Krista's book club at Krista's Books and Jams. I don't have to have this read for a few weeks, but it was available at my library, and so I grabbed it. It also kind of matches my manicure, but I didn't do any of that on purpose. Actually, my shirt doesn't really match my manicure that well today, but I gave myself a manicure and a pedicure this week. And at the end of the week, after we did some painting at my daughter and son-in-law's house. So once I knew my nails were safe, I went ahead and did that. I haven't done that in a while. I've been trying to strengthen them. FYI, I got some nail strengthener from Color Street. I'm still a little on the fence, but I think I'm gonna like it. The other thing I'll say is, and I said this in another video, it is nice to shop my stacks, so to speak, to really look at what I have. And I think during this time, hopefully, I'm going to get back to my bookish inventory. I have really let that slide, and I'm about at the end of the second quarter. June will be the end of the second quarter for me. And so I'm mindful of what my goals are and what hasn't happened really, and what I haven't focused on. And one of those things is the bookish inventory. So I had several days off during the Memorial Day weekend. I enjoyed those days very much, and I read a lot, and I just really felt good about most of the ways in which I spent my time. But I didn't spend any time in my bullet journal, which I had really wanted to do. I didn't get to that. And I didn't get to any bookish inventory either. So I really want to prioritize those for the next few weeks and see how that goes. Okay, thanks for watching today. If you're participating in the No Buy Challenge, let me know. I actually have created a Discord because I have been buddy reading a good bit with some people. And so I thought that would be a good place for that, as well as for the No Buy Challenge if people wanted to join. So I'm going to put the link in the description box below so that you can join. And bear with me because I am very new to Discord in the sense of being a creator rather than a user. And so there's a little bit of discomfort for me in trying to figure out how to do these things and categorize them. And I may have to ask one of my friends to help with that, or see if there's a Discord tutorial. But for now, just bear with me. I might have to do some cleanup later, but join if you'd like to be on the No Buy Challenge. And remember, as Melinda did at her channel, which is a web of stories, she is doing a No Buy Challenge, but she's given herself some parameters by which she could buy a book. And so that's really up to her. And so is your no buy challenge. It's really up to you. In my case, I am going to just let those book of the month club credits pick up, let those Libro.fm credits pick up. And when this is all over, I will have lots of things to use should I choose to do that. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel. I have some new subscribers, so welcome to you. I'm happy that you're here. And as always, happy reading. Bye.